take the ends from this, just kind of draped it, but now I can get right up to it. It's ridiculous. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and today we're talking about the Shure MV7 microphone. Actually, you know what? Real quick, as you can see here, I have the silver one because that was the only one in stock. Been contemplating, should I switch it out for the black one? That's usually what I would get. Let me know down in the comments below, and I don't know, majority wins, and I'll just do what you guys say. And besides color, let's talk about the design. So while this mimics the design of the more expensive SM7B, there are some key differences here. Probably one of the most obvious when you're watching a video of someone using it is you can see all these cables back here. Now, most people may only have one cable sticking out. We'll talk about that more in a minute. But the thing that I really loved anytime I saw the SM7B is how when you see it on one of these arms, it almost has the XLR port kind of right next to it at the top, and it had a little cable coming out of the mic that led up to that rather than the XLR actually going in the back of the mic like it is here. And so that got rid of pretty much all of the, cable management that you'd kind of have to do in the background here. Maybe some more zip ties, or I'm just using a little Velcro tie there. But besides that, it does have a very nice metal design here. You have, of course, the thumb screws on the side to tilt it to your various different angle. Now let's talk about the two cables coming out of the back, as that's a pretty new feature that I haven't really seen on any other mics. So usually a microphone is either a USB or XLR, and sometimes companies will sell a version where you can buy one or the other, but not often do you see a microphone have both. And the cool thing is you can actually record simultaneously using the two different cables. I'm doing that right now. You're currently listening to me through the XLR port headed all the way into the Pocket 6K, but at the same time, I'm going USB onto my Mac and recording it through Audition. So why would you do this? Maybe the audio on the camera or the computer becomes corrupt. Well, now you have one or the other. Or sometimes I've done like screen recordings and recorded audio into a computer. And if you're doing a screen recording and let's say like playing a YouTube video, sometimes it doesn't separate the audio channels. So now you've ruined your voiceover because you have this background audio just mixed in. And so now you would have a separate audio track through the camera. It's also beneficial if you want to record two different types of vocals. It's almost like shooting in like RAW as well as getting a JPEG to go along with it for ease. You can record raw audio through XLR into a camera or an interface, but then also get kind of a already cleaned up with compressor and equalizer added to it straight from the computer. Now, besides the two ports on the back, probably the most standout feature here is going to be the little touch bar on the top. So this strip of LED lights is touch sensitive and allows you to control both your mic gain as well as the headphone volume. So on the side of the strip, there is a mic and headphone icon that allows you to tap on it and change between the two different settings. When the warm color LEDs are on, you are adjusting your headphone monitoring volume, and when they are green, you are adjusting the mic gain. So the strip isn't the most touch sensitive or touch accurate thing in the world. So to be honest, I don't find myself using it all that much, and I've pretty much got everything locked in. So once you kind of set it up, you don't tend to change it unless you're doing like a podcast or streaming for like Twitch or something and you're constantly changing your different levels. It is nice to have right there in front of you. It's just sometimes when I'm trying to like fine tune the mic gain, it's just really not that sensitive. So sometimes you'll like swipe on it and it will like change one dot down, or you'll like lower it all the way to like -40 decibels by accident. So there is that. On top there also is a mic mute button. So again, if you're streaming on a podcast or anything like that, and you just need to quickly mute the mic so that no one can hear you, then you have that button as well. All right, so now let's talk about the app for a minute. Now, the app is both for desktop computers as well as there is a mobile app. However, I haven't been able to test that all too much because for this mic specifically, you do need the AMV LTG cable, which is essentially just micro USB to Lightning. That way you can use this connected to your iPhone or anything, which is cool to have, especially if you're, again, doing on-the-go podcasting or something like that. But just know it doesn't come with this cable, so that will be an extra 25 or so bucks, it seems. However, on the computer, the one I've been able to test is actually really cool. And it has both a auto level and a manual side. On the manual side, as expected, you can go in and actually set your gain to a proper decibel level that you want. You can control your monitor mix. It has different EQ presets, and I'll go ahead and sample those right now since I'm recording into the computer as well. This is what it sounds like for the flat profile. Here we have the high pass filter. So this is what that sounds like. This is again the presence boost, which I've stayed on. And this is the high pass and presence boost feature turned on. And to be honest, if you can hear the difference between those automatically, then I would consider you an audiophile. Because to be honest, I think I could hear slight differences, but not too much. You also can set a limiter as well as your compressor level from off, light, medium, or heavy. So now I've switched it over to the auto level, which is pretty cool. So here, again, you can create and save presets. If you want, you can mute the mic right from the software as well. Again, control your monitor mix. And then for the actual sound quality, all you're choosing is the mic position. So is it going to be near you or further away? So right now it's set to near. This is what it sounds like. And then obviously if I take a little bit of step away, it's probably not going to sound all that great. But now if I set it too far, I'm about a foot or so away from the mic. Maybe even go to like 2 feet or so. So that's pretty helpful. And then the last thing you can choose is the tone. Do you want a dark sounding voice, a natural, or a bright? Alrighty, so right before we get into who I think this mic is best suited for, I want to talk about the largest con that I've found. Because in terms of sound quality, I mean, obviously you guys have been listening and watching this video. I personally think this mic sounds great. I always wanted the Shure SM7B whatever, and when this came out, for $150 cheaper, I was like, okay, well, obviously there's going to be something that is lesser about it. So I was like, all right, what's the catch? Well, it seems that the windscreen that they're using is not all that great. So obviously I've been speaking to the side of the mic, but a couple of times when I've been talking about the features, I faced it directly. The P's and the S's are pretty bad, especially the P's. The S's, obviously, you just use de-esser, but the pops and everything sound pretty rough anytime I test it talking straight into it. Now, I have done some VO for different videos using this, and I'll show you how I was able to remove the pops. Does anyone know what this is? This is the Rode Blimp. These are the ends that screw on it. So if I want like the cleanest audio from this mic, I take the ends from this. This should be a little bit better, but still in my testing had some pops in it. So sometimes I just balance the second one there. And then what really sold it was I took the Dead Cat cover, just kind of draped it. But now I can get right up to it, get really clean audio, and now you shouldn't have any issues with P's or pops or S's and all that stuff. This should be like the cleanest sounding thing. That's ridiculous. Because when you get clean audio, like I'm really impressed and I really love the sound quality of this thing. But it is kind of annoying to when I'm doing these videos that I have to be really careful because this sounds super nice and clean. But if I get right in front of it, those P's become an issue. So keep that in mind. If you don't want any of those issues, you may just want to shell out the extra bit of money, or you'll just have to add a secondary windscreen in front of it. Obviously, if I had one of those, I wouldn't have to use like the dead cat and stuff. But again, hey, it works. All right, so let's end on who do I think this mic is for. So the main reason that I actually got this mic is because it is so good at picking up, obviously, vocals that are close to it and drowning out a lot of noises in the background. See, right now I'm recording during the day, and in a small 2-bedroom apartment, we have noisy neighbors. I have a toddler and a newborn who are constantly yelling and screaming and running literally while I'm recording this. But overall, it's doing a very good job at drowning out a lot of noise coming from relatively close distances. Do I think this is the best if you are a like singer-songwriter? I don't have the SM7B, so it's hard to compare if you're coming from that, but I can see the P's and the S's being a huge issue. So you definitely want to figure out a windscreen sort of thing. But listen, this is a Shure product. I think it's still amazing and you can do a lot with it. The sound quality that you get both from the USB as well as the XLR sound fantastic. So yeah, overall, I'm really happy with this mic and I would love to hear what you guys think about it in the comments down below. Don't forget to let me know which color you think. Should I keep the gray or change it to black, paint it? I don't know. Please don't recommend that. I'm not doing that. If this video did anything for you, brought you any value, please hit that like button. It helps me out a lot, and get subscribed for all the latest upcoming videos. Got some really cool ones on the horizon. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.